Today's program is brought to you by OTCStockShark.com. For the latest and greatest OTC and Pink Sheets information, sign up for your account at OTCStockShark.com. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm your host, Brandon Vincent. In U.S. news, caught between complaints that airport screening has become too intrusive and threats of new terror attacks on aviation, Obama administration officials say they are sensitive to criticisms that security measures go too far, but they are insisting that the measures now in place are justified by the risks. With the Thanksgiving travel crush imminent, the chief of the Transportation Security Administration, John S. Pistole, said in a statement that his agency would try to make screening methods as minimally invasive as possible. But he gave no indication that the agency would reverse its move to full-body scanners, now deployed in 70 of 450 airports in the United States, and physical pat-downs for passengers who object to the scans. This has always been viewed as an evolving program that will be adapted as conditions warrant, and we greatly appreciate the cooperation and understanding of the American people. In financial news, the Federal Reserve has moved to pump up the U.S. economy with an unconventional program to buy government bonds known as quantitative easing, or QE. But the experiences of the QE pioneer, the Bank of Japan, show how difficult it is to make this approach work. Nearly a decade after Japan's central bank first experimented with the policy, the country remains mired in deflation, a general decline in wages and prices that has crippled its economy. And just as politicians in the United States are criticizing the Fed for veering beyond traditional monetary policy and are threatening to curtail the bank's independence as a result, lawmakers in Japan say they'll do the same to the BOJ as a punishment for its failure to cure the scourge of falling prices. Japan's experience offers a case study in the possibilities and limits of quantitative easing, in which a central bank effectively prints money to spur economic activity. In international news, all 29 miners trapped in a flooded Chinese coal mine were lifted to safety Monday, ending a day-long rescue drama. The miners were trapped Sunday morning after the small Beishan mine in southwest China's Sichuan province suddenly flooded. Rescuers initially thought only 28 were trapped, but made contact with the workers Monday and revised the figure upward to 29. Video footage showed a line of ambulances and large crowds waiting near the entrance to the mine, and medics easing survivors wrapped in quilts onto stretchers after being led out of the mine. The miners were barefoot and naked, their work clothes apparently drenched by the flood, and they wore blindfolds so the sunlight wouldn't hurt their eyes after more than 24 hours in the dark.
These are the most powerful songs of all time. Time Life presents Classical Power on 5 CDs for just $29.99. But wait, order in the next 10 minutes with your credit card, and we'll cut the price to just $14.99. That's right, you get 5 CDs for just $14.99. Then preview other beautiful classical CDs, satisfaction guaranteed. This collection is not sold in stores, so call now and get Time Life's Classical Power on 5 CDs for just $14.99.
Call 1-800-731-0511 to order Classical Power for $14.99 plus shipping when you call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card or order online at timelife.com/power.
In entertainment news, Metallica has had on-stage mishaps involving pyrotechnics and falling stage props in the past, but you'd have to think balloons would be pretty low on the danger scale. Well, guess again. During a show in Sydney last week, guitarist Kirk Hammett was kicking balloons around on stage during Seek and Destroy, and in audience-filmed footage from Live Leak, accidentally clobbered a small child as well. The child is seen being carried away, and Blabbermouth.com reported that despite rumors that the child was the son of frontman James Hetfield, it was apparently the daughter of the group's tour manager. The site also said that the child was reportedly not injured during the incident. In tech news, Google has an early Christmas present for its Google Apps users. The company has opened up access to nearly the entire suite of Google services through any Google Apps account. That means people who pay for Google Apps for your domain, now referred to simply as Google Apps, can now host Google Voice, Google Reader, and some 60 other cloud-based applications and services, giving admins a way to integrate just about all of Google into their own custom domains. While Google Apps users have long had integrated Gmail, Docs, Calendar, and Contacts, other popular services like Reader, Picasa, and Google Voice have been off limits. All of these free Google services have remained available to anyone with a free Google account, but not the Google Apps hosted services, which allows users to tie Gmail, calendar notifications, document sharing, and their contacts database to their own custom domain name. Google's paid app service starts at $50 per user per year. The workaround for most people so far has been to sign up for, say, a Picasa account using a regular Google Apps email address. While that works, it lacks the tight integration you get with the rest of your Google Apps, namely the shared contacts list, settings, and links to other apps within each application. In green news, the numbers on fuel economy of the U.S. car fleet are out, albeit a year behind, but the news is rather good. The EPA report for 2009 shows an improvement of 7% in fuel economy, bringing the average to 22.4 miles per gallon. Kind of a sad record when you think about it. Another piece of good news is that the ratio of cars to trucks has been shifting back in favor of cars. It has declined to 40% in 2009 models, a decrease of 7% from 2008 and 12% from the peak year of 2004, when the average car was a light truck. The truck share is now at its lowest level since 1995. The EPA writes the previous records for lowest CO2 emissions and highest fuel economy were in 1987, and the recent improvements in CO2 emissions and fuel economy reverse an opposite trend from 1987 through 2004. Compared to the previous best year of 1987, 2009 CO2 emissions were 2% lower and fuel economy was 2% higher. From 2004 to 2009, CO2 emissions decreased by 14% and fuel economy increased by 16%. The fact that we can't do better than 22 miles per gallon and that things have been stagnant for so long is kind of discouraging. The new fuel economy regulations should help improve things, but what we really need to do is to move away from fossil fuels in the transportation sector. The best is to walk, bike, or take public transit. But as long as there are cars and trucks, we should find ways to make them work without oil.